Next country is China. China is located in Asia. It is the largest population of any country in the world. It's also one of the oldest civilizations in the world. And since 1949, China has been ruled by a couple different communist guys that go that belong to the CCP, which stands for the Chinese Communist Party. They've been in power since after World War II and have basically controlled everything that goes on in their country. This can be a difficult job because China has the largest population, and that's a lot of people to try and babysit, but the communists have tried to do so, and for the most part it's worked. They have a great combination. They have a large amount of natural resources, plus they have lots of workers. So that should equal lots of good stuff going on in China. Now, it's not the world's strongest economy by any means, but they do have two pretty big advantages going for them. When it comes to their banks, their banks are completely 100% owned by the government. So this bank is the main bank in China, and it has a very patriotic name. It's called the People's Bank of China. Now, if you want to go to the government and you want to start a new business, you have to get permission from these guys. And these guys are the CCP. So if they don't like your idea, they don't want you to sell a certain thing, or maybe Apple wants to start selling iPads there, you have to get permission from the CCP. They decide what is made, how much of it is made, and who is allowed to buy it. China is famous for having the busiest city in the world. And this is a picture of the city at night. This city is called Shanghai. You may have heard of it before. Shanghai is considered the world's busiest city because it has the busiest port in the world. It leads the world in exporting and importing goods. Mostly exporting because all of those Chinese people, those diligent communist workers, are busy making American t-shirts and tennis shoes and electronics. And the biggest component of China's economy is making stuff. They also have a large agricultural economy. There's some large farming things, but also those are controlled by the government. Now, when it comes to allowing businesses to go on in China, things have been changing a little bit the past few years. The Chinese government has allowed more and more people to start private companies, although they still need permission from the Communist Party. And most of the common goods, or what the Chinese government calls essential goods, are regulated by the government. The government decides still how much is made and who can buy it. Now, if you look at a graph of the Chinese economic factors in the past 20 years, you can see that China is growing rapidly. Their per capita GDP is not one of the highest in the world, but considering how many millions of people, actually about 1 billion people live in China, we're dividing all the stuff they make by that billion people, their GDP still comes out to about 7,400 American dollars, which is bad and is still growing. Still nothing compared to developed countries like the United States, but not bad for a bunch of Chinese communists.